me son-in-law, it seems to me that I can call you mother-in-law.
Oh, no. There's a great deal to be said against it. Things are not equal between us. Please take note that it is not for you to use such a formal address with a person of my rank, and that though you may be our son-in-law, there is a great gulf fixed between us, and you should know your place!
That is enough, my dear. Why don't we just let that matter drop?
God, Monsieur de Sotenville! What you are prepared to put up with is your own affair. You simply don't know how to make others treat you with the respect which is your due.
Forgive me, damn it, but no one can teach me lessons on that account. And I have proven in my life by a show of resolute acts that I am not a man to abandon any of my rightful claims to respect. It was not necessary to give him more than just a little warning on that matter. Let us know, son-in-law, what seems to be on your mind.
Since it is necessary for me to speak bluntly, let me tell you, Monsieur de Sotenville, that I have
One moment! Take note. It is not respectful to call people by their surname. One must say Monsieur by itself when addressing those who are set above us.
Well then, Monsieur by itself, and not Monsieur de Sotenville. What I have to tell you is that my wife is...
One moment! Also take note that you must not say my wife when you are referring to our daughter.
I think I'll go mad. Isn't my wife then?
Oh, yes, son-in-law, she is your wife. But you may not call her so. You would only be able to do so if you had married one of your own kind.
George Dandin, my old friend, just look where you've landed yourself. Please, I beg you, set your gentility to one side for a moment and let me speak to you as best I can. A curse on such tyrannical rules and regulations. I say to you again, I am not satisfied with my marriage.
Well, why not, son-in-law?
What? How can you speak this way about something from which you have derived such great benefits?
What? Benefits, madam? Since I must call you madame. The business has been all right from your point of view, for without me, your affairs, if I may say so, were in a pretty tumble-down state, and my money has plugged a few yawning holes in them. But tell me how I have come off better, except in having my name made longer. Now that instead of George Dandin, I can continue to follow Monsieur de la Dandin.
You account for nothing the advantage of being related by marriage to the de Sotenville family.
Yes.
And to that of the de la Prudoterie, into which I have the honor of being born, a family whose nobility passes through the distaff side, through which your children, by this great privilege, will become gentry.
Yes, that's fine enough. My children will become gentry, but I'll become a cuckold if something isn't done about it.
What do you mean, son-in-law?
It means that your daughter does not live in the way that a wife should, and that she acts dishonorably.
Enough! Be careful what you say. My daughter is from a far too virtuous line ever to allow herself to do anything which is an affront to decent manners. And in the de la Prudoterie, for the last 300 years, no wife, thank God, has ever been the subject of gossip.
My God, there's never been a fast woman in the de Sotenville family. And courage is no less hereditary amongst the males than chastity is amongst the females.
There was a Jacobine in a Prudoterie who refused to become the mistress of a royal duke, even though he was governor of our province.
Well, there was a Martharine de Sotenville who turned down an offer of 2,000 ekins from a royal favorite who only asked her for the favor of conversing with her.
Well, your daughter isn't as scrupulous as that. She's become more approachable since she's been in my house.
The explicit son-in-law, we are not the sort of people to condone her behavior if she has done wrong, and we will be the first, her mother and I, to see that justice is done.
We do not trifle with matters of honor. No, no. We brought her up according to the severest code of behavior.
All that I can tell you is that there's hereabouts a certain young courtier whom you have seen, who is making up to her right under my very nose, and who has sent her protestations of his love, which she has graciously consented to lend an ear to.
Oh, my God!
before you, and I ask you now for satisfaction.
Don't worry, I can give you satisfaction with respect to the both of them. I'm not a man to take any kind of nonsense from anyone, but are you not sure of the facts?
Very sure.
Be sure, these are very ticklish matters amongst gentlemen. There can be no question of making a mistake.
I've not told you anything which isn't true.
My dear. My dear, why don't you go and speak with our daughter while I go with my son-in-law to speak with the man in question?
Could it be, my dear one, that she has forgotten herself in this way after the excellent example I have set her, as you well know?
We'll throw some light on this affair. Follow me, son-in-law. You don't have to look so downcast. You'll see what my true mental is when someone attacks those who are seen as being connected with my family.
Here he is, coming towards us.
Sir? Am I known to you?
Not that I know of, sir.
Well, I am the Baron de Sotenville.
I am delighted to hear it.
My name is known in court. When young, I had the honor of being prominent amongst officers of the Nancy Regiment.
Well, that's good to know.
My father, Jean-Guy de Sotenville, he had the honor of taking part in the great siege de Montauban.
I'm glad about it.
I also had an ancestor, Bertrand de Sotenville. He was held in such high esteem in his day that he was allowed to sell his estate in order to take part in the Great Crusades.
I do not doubt it.
Sir, I've been told that you are in love with and are making advances towards a certain young person, my daughter, whose honor I hold as dear as I do my own. Well, as I do of this gentleman here who has the incredible good fortune of being my son-in-law.
Who? Me?
Yes, and you know, I'm glad to have this opportunity to speak with you so that we may ascertain from you the truth of this matter, if you would be so kind.
What an outrageous calumny! Who told you this, sir?
Someone who believes that it is true.